Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Extreme Racing League here for round number 9 of the championship as we take in Circuit Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgium Grand Prix. It is the penultimate round of the championship. Constructors on the lines. Potentially, if the race goes bad for Wouter, we could be crowning a driver's champion. My name is Ivor Brim. I'm going to be taking you through the action. Won't be on my own tonight. I am going to be joined by Ali at some point. He is running a little bit late, so hopefully he'll be able to get himself into the lobby ASAP and into the Discord call so that we can bring through the action. But of course, looking at the calendar, as you can see, round number 9, we only have one more round to go after this, and that is of course at Austria for the Spielberg season finale. And looking at the championship, as you can see, Connor leading the way on 120 points, 6 points clear of Mr. Wouter. Very tight battle between these two championship protagonists. Of course, Flipnam's around with that DNF last week at Silverstone has dropped off the pace slightly. He's going to be looking for a big result here tonight to get himself back into this championship fight. Sinful with a big result last week as well, jumps himself up into P4. Amaguna as well with a DNF, and it was a heartbreak for him because he had such a fantastic race at Kota and then it all fell apart at Silverstone. As we look now at the constructors, it is the Red Bull Racing team that are leading the way by a total of 80 points. This should be wrapped up here tonight. Of course, only 88 points available in the remaining 2 races, so it's going to be difficult for Aston Martin or Mercedes, who are both mathematically in with a chance to close that gap. They need an absolute nightmare race from the Red Bull drivers, and we've only Sinful here tonight for the Aston Martins. It's over for them. It really is over for them, and looks like we'll be having some late arrivals in qualifying, as there's only 10 people in the lobby, as we are just under 15 minutes to go in the session. One of the championship contenders also not here, and that is Connor. So here we go, looking at qualifying now as everyone is beginning to get themselves underway on their first flying lap. Swiss Stake unfortunately with a invalidation early on. Wouter just getting himself underway, who is the first man out on track, and it will be Flipnam's around. Just adjust the audio slightly as we await to see when Ali will be able to join us on commentary, and then we'll have to adjust the audio settings for Ali to make sure you guys can hear him as well. Laupi out of the session early on, so not a great qualifying session for Laupi, but of course only 10 drivers in at the moment as Flipnam's around now through the middle sector. It's an 18.1 for Flipnam Zaram. As I mentioned, looking to get himself back into the championship hunt as he comes through Blanchimont. Padang has joined the session, so that's one of the Mercedes drivers in the session right now as we break down into the bus stop chicane with Flipnam Zaram. All about the traction here to the line, and it's going to be a 1:47.8 to get us underway here for qualifying. Swiss Stake to the line, and he improves by 4 tenths, and he goes up on the provisional pole. Sicario there a full 2 seconds quicker on a 45.5. very good lap from him. Vero Ducko's just getting himself underway. We got Wouter to the line. Wouter on provisional pole with a 45.3. So Wouter also getting himself into the mix of things. As T. Brandon looks like he's had an absolute nightmare through turn 1 and has lost the car. Skid Solo to the line. And he's just getting himself underway for a lap as well. So T-Bran on a lap, we're going to go on board with Vero Ducko as he takes us through a lap here at Spa-Francorchamps. Course Spa, a 7-kilometer circuit in length, and it is a absolute behemoth of a track, and a lot of very iconic corners: Blanchimont, Eau Rouge, Radion, the Camel Straight, Pouron, No Name, Bruxelles, the Campos section, Stavro. It is all going to be action as we come through the bus stop now with Vero Ducko. Third gear, the gear of choice on the exit there, and it's going to be a 46.4. Gets him up at the P3 for the time being. Skid Solo now coming through Stavlo. She has a little bit of traffic up ahead. It's going to be hoping that car stays out the way, and it does stay out the way. Bus stop chicane now for Skid Solo as he comes to the line. A 47 flat for the Alfa Romeo driver. Big lock up in the turn 1 through Les Combes. Sinful as he goes through. Actually no, I believe Sinful just went through Les Combes and Skid went through La Source. We're now coming into the Campos, now through Stavro, and now it's a run down towards Blanchimont. 20 corners around this 7-kilometer circuit. Who is going to be able to master Spa-Francorchamps here tonight? Bus stop chicane breaking down, third gear for Sinful. Is this going to be threatening Wouter's time at the top? Yes, it does, and he goes on provisional pole with a 45.2. So Sinful there with a big lap time. As we wait to see who is out on the track, and I believe we have been joined now by Ali. Give me 2 seconds now, Ali, and I'll get your voice up on the stream. Alright, are you talking, Ali? Because I can't hear you. Having some audio issues currently with Ali. We'll try to sort that out momentarily as he is in the Discord call, but for some reason I cannot hear a word that he's saying. There's a very strange situation going on at the moment as we're struggling to pick up Ali's voice, but I suppose what we'll try to do is have a little fix around and see if we can do anything else with the audio here. Ibo just completing a lap doing a 47.9. Energetics now in the session as well. As we still unable to hear Ali at the moment, and seems to be a big issue going on right now, because apparently the both headsets and mics are working on both ends, but for some reason unable to pick up his voice. Your volume for me is turned up to the max, Ali, and I have no clue what else I can do to fix it. Like, everything on my end is working tidy. I don't know if you have to turn yourself up in terms of the volume on your end, but might be the case where you might have to turn yourself up if you can. So 4 minutes ago, Sicario goes on provisional pole with a 44.5 as we got TB Ran coming back into the pit lane. Sinful out there on an outlap. We got Vero Ducko, who is, I believe, going for another flying lap. Yes, he is, as he opens DRS down the Camel Straight, going to be looking to get himself up the order, currently in P6. A 10.5 up at the end of the first sector, but runs very deep into the comms, and that is definitely going to compromise him over the next couple of corners as he dips down now into Brussels. Now through No Name. And pull on now for Vero Ducko. To front section through Stavilo now for Vero Ducko. Let's see what the middle sector is saying as he runs very wide, and he is well off. Oh, well off indeed, and again I still can't pick up the race. I'm not sure what's going on here. I can see your thing moving and indicate you're talking, but there's no audio coming through to me, and it's not coming through on the stream either, which is annoying.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you now. Yep, I got you now. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we got him.
Oh, okay. One moment.
Yep, we got your audio now. I just got to turn you down a little bit too loud, a bit too loud now, so turn it down to maximum.
Okay. Do you hear yourself? Is there any kind of echo, or is it all good?
On my end, it is all good. Should be all good on your end now, and it should be all getting picked up now on stream. So it looks like we are good.
Okay, hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by Ali in the commentary. Ali, are you actually in the lobby at the moment?
Yeah.
Right. So just over a minute to go, we're seeing a lot of times that are coming so far. Obviously, the big one at the moment is the fact that Wouter all the way down in P5 currently.
Well, he is on a fast lap, and as he just has the fastest middle sector, improving by a lot, 6/10 of a second. So he can actually go for pole if he improves.
He's got a bit of a toe off his teammate right here, down towards Blanchimon, and Vietnam's around timing that very well.
Yeah, but he's doing a very good lap here. Let's see if he can capitalize on that in the final sector. And into P2.
Yeah. He misses out on pole though.
Yep, by 2/10 of a second almost. Yeah, very close.
I'll tell you what, one person that has been a big loss at the moment, as I just gone on board with Parang, who has just lost it through the comms. One person not here tonight who really should be here is Connor, the big notable absentee from the grid. Obviously, the championship battle, it's only 6 points between them, and this is a huge opportunity for Wouter to put it out of his reach going into the final round next week.
Yeah, but it's really sad and unfortunate for Connor because he says he had some issues with his Wi-Fi, so that's why he won't be able to join us, which could mean that you said 6 points. 6 points. So who's leading though?
Connor leading by 6 points. Obviously, if Wouter was able to pick up the win here tonight, for example, it'd be a 19-point gap.
Or P2 with the fastest. No, he needs to win, yeah.
As TB Brand goes on provisional pole with a 44.5, and that is just over a tenth of a second quicker than Sicario, who is unfortunately out of the session. We've got Vietnam's Arama second up on his time, 1.3 seconds to be precise, as he comes through the middle sector. He's looking to improve and get himself up the order. Parang, obviously, we saw him lose the car earlier on in the session, and I think Energetics might be the last man to actually set a lap time, and he hasn't got a lap time on the board yet.
Nope, but he's doing one now. Flip only P7.
The P7 Energetics now through the bus stop, chicane third gear, the gear of choice through that corner, and to the line goes Energetics. He goes up into P3. Good lap time there from Energetics, under pressure as well.
That's it. We have 5 different teams in the top 5. It's gonna be a good and competitive race. Very close timings as well.
Very close indeed, and of course TB Brand out there on pole position, Sicario alongside him, Energetics and Wouter sharing the second row, Barang and Sinful on the third row of the grid, and Swiss Steak and Flip on the fourth row. It's going to be very interesting down in towards turn 1, and it's only a short run as well. Will we be seeing any lunges down the inside, you reckon?
Well, usually in Spa, I mean the runoff, the distance between the start and turn 1 is not that long, so I don't think we don't usually see a lot of overtakes in the first lap heading through turn 1. Usually it happens up at Eau Rouge or Radillon. So I don't think we are. But it is usually chaotic. That's what in all races, in all league races, it's usually very chaotic heading to turn 1 in Spa.
Absolutely, and of course running for the order, TB Brown taking pole with Sicario in second, Energetics and Wouter sharing the second row, Prolong Sinful on the third row, Swiss Steak Flip on the fourth row, Vero Ducko and Skid Solo rounding out the 5th row of the grid. And I believe then after that we had... Now, this is where I've gone black screen now on my end, and I can no longer see the stand-ins, which is brilliant. But yeah, we'll run you through the rest of the grid now as we get the formation lap underway, and we get to see what tyres everyone has selected. Of course, Spa-Francorchamps, a absolute iconic circuit on the F1 calendar, 7 kilometers in length, been a part of the F1 calendar since 1950. Of course, tonight we'll have 22 laps of this circuit, iconic corners, the Source, Eau Rouge, Radion, Kemmel Straight down through Lake Holmes, Bruxelles, No Name at turn 11, Pouon, the Campos section, Stavolo, Blanchimont, and of course the iconic bus stop chicane through 19 and 20. So a lot of iconic corners, a lot of overtaking opportunities, and a track where finding the balance between downforce and straight line speed is absolutely key.
Yep. I think this is one of the few tracks that you actually see what every driver is made of, because some tracks really it's more because of the car. Some, you get what I mean? I mean, like Austria, for example, it's not really that much of a competitive track. Anyone can drive well there, but in tracks like Spa, it really shows who the best driver is.
Yeah, absolutely. And to round out the rest of the grid, it was Ibo and Laupi in 11th and 12th outside the grid, and a bit of a split in tyre strategies throughout the grid. Obviously, TB ran on a set of the hards, Sicario and Energetics on the mediums, Wouter on a set of hards, Barang on mediums, Sinful on the hards, Swiss Steak on mediums, Vietnam Zaram on the hards, and then we got the free Pete there for Vero Ducko, Skid Solo and Ibo on a set of the mediums, and then Laupi starting from the back on a set of the hard compound tyres. And obviously one thing that I was going to bring up was of course the Constructors' Championships. Of course I can bring that momentarily on stream for everyone to see. So the Aston Martin team, 80 points behind Red Bull, and I believe Energetics isn't in... Is he in the right car? I don't believe he is. Energetics. I don't believe he's in the car. I believe it's Imaguna that's meant to be teaming with Sinful, but Imaguna not here tonight. So that effectively wraps up the Constructors before we even get started.
Yeah. Red Bull.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but with both Red Bull drivers here and only one full-time Aston Martin driver here, the maximum an Aston Martin driver can take is 26 points, and unfortunately that is not enough to take the championship into the final round. So it's Red Bull that takes the Constructors' Championship early on here tonight.
So since we see most drivers going for mediums or hards, so we can reasonably suppose that we're going to see mostly a one-stopper, either a medium to hards or hards to mediums. Although we tend to see a lot of safety cars in Spa, so that could change everything.
100% could change a lot as everyone now begins to take their grid positions, and obviously safety cars, virtual safety cars, mean a lot around you because it's such a long lap that you don't really want to get caught napping on the strategies. As everyone takes their grid positions, looking at some of their placements now with the cars, it's looking a bit off on my end, but here we go to those 5 red lights to get the penultimate round of the championship underway. 5 red lights are out and we are underway. It's a good start. Good stuff for Sicario, good stuff for Energetics. Wouter with a slow start. Parang having a look down the inside. Oh, he's going to have a little look on Wouter, and I think he's going to get it done side by side on the exit. 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark.
So everyone is through.
Yep, everyone appears to have got through fine without any damage. Ibo and Skid Solo having a little scrap. Swiss Steak and Skid Solo actually changing position. Sinful and Flip Namzaram side by side through Le Combs, and Sinful trying to hold off the Red Bull, and he gets the job done. But will Flip Namzaram come back down the inside in towards Brussels? Doesn't look like it, and Sicario has to settle in behind Energetics at the start of the race. So it looks like a very clean start for everyone here today.
But we had only, except for Swiss Stack, who had a moment, and he's now down to P12. He also, I think someone went into him, but I don't think.
Sinful made a mistake, Flip Namzaram straight back through, and now Skid Solo over the back of Sinful, full P7. And of course, this is a big race for Flip Namzaram as well, because obviously with Connor not here, after that, and Wouters around! Wouters around!
Ooh!
This is huge for Flip Namzaram, because as I was just about to say, with Connor not here, if Flip can get a big result over Wouter, he can get himself back into this championship fight as well. So it's not over for Flip Namzaram, who can take full advantage here tonight, as Wouter makes a huge mistake and he's around him at the back.
Yeah, but it's still, the race is still the beginning. Anything can happen. It's not over for Wouter. He can still come back. Maybe, I mean, especially since we only have 12 drivers, so he can make some points. Not that, won't be that difficult.
Yeah, it won't be that difficult as Flip all over the back of Sinful, and I believe the timing deltas are a little bit off on my end. Hopefully they all sorted for you, but apparently Sicario's 1 minute and 50 seconds behind Energetics, and that is just not the case. Oh, a Skid Solo out of nowhere, going through on the outside.
He takes back that position smoothly.
Yeah, that was all about the line there from Flip Namzaram, and he gets back through ahead of Skid Solo, but Skid here to play, here to get a little bit mixy in terms of the overtaking, and it's great to see at Belgium. It's definitely a track that does favour the overtaking car. As TB ran under pressure from Energetics, it is the hards versus the mediums here for the race lead. As it looks like Energetics is going to close up. Will he have a look down the inside of the bus stop chicane? He's using a bit of hers. He's going to move to the inside. He's going to outbrake. And is he going to lock up and go deep? No, he's going to get the car stopped, and that is the race lead for Energetics.
He also gets the fastest lap.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like
DRS, you might see more action now.
Yep, looks like the action will begin to come thick and fast as Wouter sets a new fastest lap, so showing that he has pace at the back. He's going to be trying to charge his way forward. Energetics now trying to pull a gap on TB Ran, and he's going to try and pull away on those mediums. Flip Namzaram just about managed to get DRS on Sinful, but he's under pressure from Skid Solo. Looks like he's got an absolute rocket ship in that Alfa Romeo, and definitely in the straights.
Ooh, flip. Fun, and he's now down to P7, P8, and yeah, he's losing out of position because of the mistake he's done.
Yep, big mistake there from Flip Namzaram, and that is not what he needs. And now he's behind Laupi, and a full 5 seconds he lost in that one mistake, so that's showing how crucial it is. Flip Namzaram. Oh, is it, you just spotted something? Is that Sicario? Sicario's around!
Sicario.
Heartbreak for the Alpine, but he has to be careful about rejoining here. He can't rejoin too soon, and he has to wait for everyone to pass him. Heartbreak for Sicario.
Another fast lap from Energetic.
Yeah, he's pushing to try and get himself away from TB Ran, who's just about doing enough to stay with him. As it looks like another car's gone around, and that's flipped down to Ram again. The Red Bulls spinning around. Absolute ballerina stuff we're seeing here in Belgium today from the Red Bull racing team. As Sicario retires in the pit lane, I think he might have got a bit of rear wing damage from that spin, so that's probably why he retired in the pits.
Yeah.
As Wouter gets through and up into P9 goes Wouter.
So, did you get a look at the new game?
I haven't played it yet. I'm getting it on the weekend, so I have to wait a couple of more days for it. And obviously, once we get that, as Flip looks like he's gone around again, and it's going from bad to worse for Flip.
Yeah, once Flip starts spinning, it just never stops.
Honestly, what he needs to do, he needs to calm it down a bit and just take some time, cool those tyres down. That's what he needs to do. Let the temperatures come down, let the car come back to him. Seems like he's trying to push too much to make up for a mistake, and that's leading to more spins.
Yeah.
As Energetics has really pulled away from TB Ran, and Parang in a bit of a no man's land, Sinful in a bit of a no man's land. Everyone is a bit spaced out apart from this battle for P8 between Swisssteak, Ibo and Wouter. Swisssteak just a little bit too far back. Ibo on the back of Swisssteak now, as this could be a great overtaking opportunity for Ibo. He's on his ERS, he's got the DRS, and here comes Ibo. Absolutely flies by. Nothing Swisssteak can do about that. But Ibo goes too deep. Swisssteak's back through. Swisssteak back up into P9. Vero Ducko closing in on Laupy for P6. Wouter closing in on Vero Ducko as well. We're going to have a freeway scrap coming soon for P6 in this race. Of course, 5 laps in. Mr. Wouter trying to make up for a horrible opening to the race where he's lost the car and dropped down to the back. He's trying to get himself back up the order to really take advantage of the fact that his championship rival, Connor, is not here.
Yeah, but he's doing a good job. He's already taking off time of Verdugo, so he's getting really close, and he's gonna have DRS soon. So he's doing well. He's already in P8.
Yeah, up to P8 for Mr. Wouter, and of course 6 points behind Connor in the championship. Obviously, if he overtakes Wouter, if he overtakes Vero Ducko, he is technically level on points with Connor, and he has just overtaken Vero Ducko. So in terms of the championship standings, both Wouter and Connor level on points at this current moment in time. So any position up from here that Wouter can get, that's how big the gap will be in terms of the championship.
So we may actually see next week, instead of Mr. Wouter just taking the win from now, we could actually see a very close battle for the
Energetics.
What happened with
Energetics and TB Ran.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, they had a collision because they both have been served penalties.
And Wouter's through and up into P6. TB Ran rejoins down in P8. Energetics rejoins in P4. We missed that incident, but I'm sure if it was coming together, that will definitely be when they're going into the stewards. I can assure you of that. Well, that puts Sinful now up in a good position for the Aston Martin team. P4. Sinful currently up there in P2. He's P4 in the Drivers' Championship. Big result here. Can close him up to Flipnam Zaram, who appears to be struggling down in P11. Could be a nice little scrap for P3 in the championship going into the final race of the season.
Will we see a safety car? Because I think there's no hope for Flip to really come back to the race unless we see some kind of safety car.
Well, Energetics is into the pit lane, and we're going to see if he's going to get his front wing changed. Was there damage on that Aston Martin?
Yeah, I think...
No front wing. Looks like he's just changing the tyres.
Yep. But isn't it too early? Change the tires? And it's still 18 laps. Not 18 laps. It's 16 laps.
I mean, me personally, I think the ideal lap to come in off the mediums onto the hards is around lap 9, lap 10.
Yeah, I guess.
So it is a couple of laps too early, but maybe Energetics is thinking these tyres are going to take a little bit to heat up. I'm going to go for a little bit of an undercut here, try and get myself back ahead of the likes of Skid and Sinful, at which point then I can try and pull away.
Yeah, I suppose.
Wouter all over the back of Laupy now for P4, and this is good for Wouter. Obviously, with TB Ran and Energetics coming together, it's allowed him to jump up an extra 2 positions. He's on the back of Laupy, who has a penalty to his name. That's going to jump up another position, and this is big for him because he's just increasing that gap now in the Drivers' Championship. As he is all over the back of Laupy as we come through Blanchimont here on lap 7. Not going to be close enough to make a move down the inside of the bus stop chicane, but a good run out of the bus stop, and he can have a little look through La Source as he's going to actually try it around the outside, and he's going to be wheel to wheel, and he's going to get it done. Wouter now down the inside into La Source. The job's done. Now we can go chasing after Skid Solo, and his tyres are now starting to come into temperature. They're starting to come into play as the better tyre.
So if we were to compare Energetics times and with Talang times, who's leading the race right now in the medium, Talang is doing somewhere 151.4. Energetic still 2 minutes, still going slow.
Well, Energetics currently 26 seconds off of Palang. His tyres are definitely going to be heating up, but they're not going to be up to temperature just yet. They take a lap and a half to get the temperature tidy, and it looks like someone's made a mistake. I think that might have been Ibo that's gone for a bit of a half spin, so he's now under pressure from Energetics. And honestly, look how much time Flip has lost with those spins. He's down in P10. Energetics has made a pit stop and has come out ahead of him.
Yeah, I said nothing other than the safety car can really save Flip's race. He's really way behind.
Absolutely, as Sinful closing in on Palang. Those tyres are really starting to come into play. Palang going to stay down for another lap. If Sinful can get a good run here, he might be able to get DRS down the Kemmel Straight. So let's see if he can get the good run out of the source. Wouter with a new fastest lap. He's absolutely flying in behind. He's got Laupy along with him though. Sinful, not quite close enough though. Laupy, I've just noticed something with Laupy as he's absolutely flying. He's going to overtake Wouter. But I have just noticed that Ferrari is under-fueled, so Laupy's going to have to do some fuel saving at some point in this race.
Really?
Oh, Energetics has lost it at the top of Eau Rouge and Radion.
Oh no, that's the worst place to lose it. Does he have damage?
No, I think he saved it out the wall, but flipping Ibo, very lucky to get through that without collecting energetics there, because he lost it literally just over the horizon of Radion, and that's a blind corner, and those cars were literally millimeters away from making contact with him. Sinful now within that 1 second of Perang, but he's used up all of his ERS to get it. And Perang does have a bit of ERS to pull away when he decides to use it, though that'll be the question. Laupi has got through back past Wouter. Wouter's on the back of Laupi, and Skid Solo peels off into the pits and gets out the way of the pair of them. I tell you what though, Laupi needs to do some fuel saving at some point, as does Swiss Steak. And I believe it's just those two that need to do fuel saving. They have under-fueled their car, and if a safety car doesn't come out, it's going to be very difficult for them to save their fuel up. They have to do a lot of lifting and coasting and trail braking into the corners. Oh, Laupi's gone! He's lost it! Wouter up into P3 as Laupi loses his car. Vero Ducko now on the back of the Ferrari. Not going to be close enough to overtake, but it's that TB Ran. TB Ran's around as well on the exit of turn 1. The source is all kicking off here. Everyone losing their car, losing it and going around. Wouter is flying. Sinful is dropping back just a little bit from Perang. Perang's going to be peeling off into the pits very soon. Flipnams around picking up a 3-second time penalty. Not going to help his case. Vero Ducko on the back of Laupi now after his mistake. Swiss Steak there as well. Freeway battle for P4. And we could be seeing a battle brewing for the race lead pretty soon between Sinful, Wouter and Perang, depending on when Perang comes into the pits. As we just crossed the line to start lap 11 of 22, Perang leads ahead of Sinful in second place, Wouter in third. And this is a 15-point gain for Mr. Wouter, which means he has a 9-point lead in the Drivers' Championship. Swiss Steak getting through on Vero Ducko there for P5. It would be a good result for Swiss Steak, get himself double points here tonight. Double digit points, I should say. Ivo into the pits, he's going to come out behind TB Ran. We'll see how... Oh, Ivo's chucked on Yindas. Ivo's chucked on Yindas, and things with with Ivo, maybe he's seeing something that we're not. There are definitely clouds overhead here in Spa, but it doesn't look like it's going to be close enough to raining anytime soon. So I think Ivo doing something for the fun, I think. Sinful now really closing in on Perang. Those tyres are really starting to drop off. Mercedes stays out for another lap. And I'm starting to wonder now, is Perang possibly thinking about stretching these mediums to maybe go into the softs at the end of the race? I mean, it is possible, but I don't think it's the quickest strategy.
I'm back. So what have I missed?
You have missed Laupi making a mistake and losing a lot of time to Wouter. Wouter's been closing in on Sinful. Sinful closing in on Parang. Skid Solo now back up in the P5 with Swiss Steak and Vero Ducko into the pits. Ibo's come in for a set of intermediates. There are clouds around, but it's nowhere near intermediate conditions.
So yeah, that's. What do you think? I mean, we have people going to the pits now. Wouldn't it be wiser to just wait until the rain comes in and then pit for a set of inters instead of pitting now and then maybe, you don't know, in a couple of laps?
Laupi's lost it. Laupi's in the wall. He's got no front wing. That's a full course safety car.
Oh. Okay, that safety car is really very good for that top four who hasn't pitted yet.
And Flip.
And for Flip, he's been waiting for that.
And it's good for everyone that needed to save their fuel, because I think everyone currently has the red fuel light, which means they are under fuel for the rest of the race. So this is perfect for everyone to save a bit of fuel up.
Yep.
I tell you what though, it's going to be very interesting as Sinful stayed out. Sinful's made a big mistake here. He has stayed out instead of coming into the pit lane. That is not the right call.
If he's waiting for the rain. Could be. Oh, but Palang is switching to inters, and also Mr. Roder is switching to inters.
Ibo's a genius. Ladies and gentlemen, Ibo is an absolute genius, right? And we're going to say this on stream. Ibo is a mastermind. He saw the inters before everyone else did. He is the pioneer.
Well, I mean, as a British person, I suppose he has a special relationship with rain and cloudy weather. No.
He doesn't know anything, mate. He doesn't know anything. I live in Wales. It's even worse for me. But he doesn't know. He doesn't know the pain. But honestly, as it currently stands out, there is no rain out on track. The inters are not the tyre to be on. Like, I know it's a long lap and everything could change this time next lap, but it's too early for the intermediate tyres. There's not even a drop of rain on the track yet.
Yeah, you're right.
What Wouter, Parang and everyone on the Inters needs, they need it to change rapidly right now. The clouds are coming over the hills and it is getting dark out on track, but there is no rain droplets falling from the sky as of yet. We are seeing intermediate tyres on a couple of these cars.
Already spinning. So, I mean, the track isn't wet, but we are seeing some droplets of rain.
I'm not seeing any yet.
I don't know if I've seen one, but
we may begin to see it as the safety car goes around this lap. And now, yep, here they come. Little droplets of rain are starting to fall now as we go through the start from the straight. But the question is, will it get wet enough, quick enough for these inters to work?
Sinful he's gone another lap without pitting.
I mean, here's the thing now. This is the interesting part about it. The track will take a little bit of time to become intermediate. It depends on how quickly this track goes from dry to wet. the dries may be quicker for the next 2-3 laps, and then the Inters begin to come back, and that could be enough of a gap for Sinful to pull out a decent lead to be able to maintain it. But it all depends on how quickly this track goes to intermediate conditions. Right now it's not raining enough for me to think that it's going to go wet enough quick enough.
Yeah, but I mean, you do have a safety car, so not every. I mean, pitting now will limit the time lost. So even if you stay out on the dries like Sinful is doing, and then pitch later, you're gonna lose out all the time that you're gonna make anyway.
Maybe he's hoping that the track
maybe
stays dry enough.
Yeah, exactly. And we have Verdugo is on fresh softs, so if the track still stays dry, he's gonna make a lot of time. But we are seeing some droplets of rain, and I suppose the safety car will be in this lap.
Yeah, 100%. Safety car will be in this lap as TB Ran is now on the back of the pack. So we'll see Sinful back up the pack now as TB Ran closes up to the back of the pack, and there we go, safety car in this lap. Everyone should have enough fuel now to get to the end, and we'll see if everyone is good on their fuel. But to me, it's not wet enough for intermediates yet, so the dries definitely will have the pace for the next couple of laps, but it depends how quickly this track goes from dry to intermediate conditions. And Sinful looks like he's gone.
Yeah, the rain is starting to pour some rain, and will that turn out to be a very great mistake from Sinful and Verdugo?
Potentially is Pulang down the inside, and
Ustak already spinning. Sinful losing time to Pelang. Yep, that was a mistake. Ooh.
Oh, yep, he's sliding around all over the place up through Rouge and Radion, but looks like the Inters might actually be just a little bit better right now, as it looks like it potentially could be like the crossover period. But yeah, it doesn't look like Sinful's got the grip on those hard tyres. Vero Ducko losing a lot of time. Swistig losing a lot of time and positions, and definitely looks like it is intermediate conditions. And now what this means is that Wouter's in a perfect position to take the race win here, because Pulang has a 3-second time penalty, as does Flip in behind him. Oh, Sinful goes very deep, and Wouter's gonna get through there, but is he gonna be able to hold on? Wouter's lost the car. Oh my god, contact between him and Sinful, just a little bit down. They both get away with it. Wouter keeps hold of that position, but my god, that was close between the pair of them. Sinful needs to peel off into the pits now and get a set of intermediates on, which he does. Flip Namsaram now promoted up into P3, so it's looking like a double podium for the Red Bull. Skid Solo will come through for P4, Ivo up to P5, TB Ran up into P6. The dry tyre gamble did not work for those three drivers, and they have to suffer the consequences now as they drop back. Lap 16 to 22, Pulang leads ahead of Wouter, but Wouter does not have a penalty and Pulang does.
So it really turned out well for the Red Bulls. They're now P2 and P3 after being at the bottom of the pack. They're now and they may even win.
Yeah, and this is heartbreaking. Like, Connor is going to be watching this back and thinking, why did my internet not work? Why did my internet let me down? Because as it currently stands, Wouter is gaining 18 points. As it currently stands, obviously the 6-point deficit at the moment to Connor, so he's going to gain 12 points on him in the championship, have a 12-point lead going into the next round. But if he takes the win, that gap's going to be 19 points.
Yeah, but keep in mind that Talang has a penalty, and even if Mr. Roger does not overtake him on track, which I guess he will, he's gonna be winning this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Wouter's not wasting any time. He's going to try and go for the move now. Oh, getting a little bit too much onto the curb for my liking there from Wouter. You don't want to be touching that curb a little bit too much. TB ran on the back of Skid Solo for P4. Wouter needs to time this as well as possible. Flipnam's around, getting himself back up into a podium position. This is good for Flip's chances as well in terms of the Drivers' Championship. He definitely needs to get himself ahead of Wouter and get himself ahead of Pirano. Laupy with a 3-second time penalty, and that's not going to help his causes. TB ran on the back of Skid Solo. Superior run, gets the move done. And she'll actually be side by side with the Alfa Romeo, so this is actually not done yet. As Skid could have a look back on the inside, but he chooses not to. As Wouter overtakes Perang into Brussels. So Wouter now up into the lead of this race. Laupy around again at the back, and obviously Laupy was the reason the safety car came out the first time around. If another safety car comes out, that's even better for Wouter, because it's less opportunity for anyone to jump him and get ahead of him with those 3-second time penalties behind him. Flip lands around down the inside of Perang. What a move from Flip. Gets the job done. Energetics out of this race up through Eau Rouge. And that's another safety car.
Oh, speak of the devil. I'm just saying about how a safety car would be good for.
I mean, this is great for Wouter because he doesn't have a penalty. All the guys behind him do have penalties. This is also great for Skid Solo. Could be looking at a podium here with the penalties in front of him. Sinful, obviously making that mistake by staying out on the dries. This is good for him because it brings him back into it. Vero ducking with a drive-through penalty. That is heartbreak for him. Laupy a lap down now from the race leader as his race is pretty much over and done with, but keep going, get yourself that point, Laupy. Get yourself that point, do not give up. Ibo in, and he's chucking on the full wet compound tyre. Now that is a bit, I mean, I said it about the Inters being a bit too premature. He might have actually called another absolute blinder there. There's Ibo coming out on the set of the wets.
What?
Yep, wet compound tyres.
Will he do it again? Will we see the rest of the drivers also switch to wets?
And Vero's on wets as well.
Vero's on wets. So is he gonna do it 2 times in a row?
Is Ibo the strategy master here? That is the question, and on track it definitely looks like it's more intermediates and wets, but it looked like it was more dries than intermediates when the safety car restarted. So I mean, I don't know nothing, me, so I'm just going to go with whatever Ibo does. Ibo knows more.
Okay. I mean, he might have Welsh descent. You don't know if he's that good at predicting the rate.
Nah, Ibo don't have Welsh descent. If he did, he'd know how to say Llan Fawr Gwyngo Gedio Control Llanta City or Go Go Goch. He doesn't know how to say that, so Ibo does not have Welsh descent. Well, the question is now, have Vero, Ducko and Ibo called an absolute blinder here? Is it full wet compound tyre time, or is the Inter still the tyre to be on?
But I don't see that much rain as before.
Oh no, I see more rain than I did on the last safety car. I can't lie.
I mean, but even if it gets more wet, let's say one more lap of the safety car, then we race for 2 more laps. Would it make any difference?
It shouldn't make any difference for Wout and the lads at the front, but for the likes of Ibo and Ibo, it'll make more of a difference for Ibo because he might be able to get the jump on the likes of Swiss Steak, Sinful, Solo, and maybe get in amongst that podium scrap. But for Vero, I mean, he has a drive-through penalty, so he's going to be dropping back regardless. We'll quickly show you guys the driver standings as we are under safety car conditions. It is Connor leading by 6 points. Connor not here tonight. Wouter in the race lead. And I believe he has the fastest lap as well. So I'll just quickly check that. No, fastest lap to TB ran. So it's not a full 26 points for Wouter. At the moment it's 25. And I don't think anyone's going to be beating that lap time from TB ran. So 25 points will take Wouter up to 139 points, and that is significant because that is a 19-point gap, meaning that the championship is almost certainly a foregone conclusion for Wouter next week in Austria. In terms of the constructors, as you can see, it was an 80-point gap coming in tonight for the Red Bulls. Obviously, Sinful being the only full-time Aston Martin driver and Prolong being the only full-time Mercedes driver means that regardless, it was always going to be Red Bull's Constructors win here tonight, and that is exactly what's happened. Red Bull will win the Constructors' Championship. That is a guarantee, but of course, we do have a few more laps of racing, 3 more racing laps to go. Wouter leads, Flipnams around in second place, Prolong in third, TB ran in 4th, Skin Solo in 5th, Sinful in 6th, Swiss Stick 7th, Ibo in 8th, Vero Ducko in 9th, and Laupi in 10th place. Who's going to come out on top here as Wouter's going to get us back underway, and looks like he's gone out of the final corner. Absolutely lovely stuff, and he's already got a decent gap to his teammate. It looks like both of the Red Bulls are already dropping Parang. TB Ran's going to be looking to try and get that final podium position. I can assure you of that. Flip looks like he wants to put a bit of pressure on Wouter here. So this could be interesting with a teammate battle going on.
Yeah, but I mean, he has 6 seconds, so I think battle would be a little bit in vain. And they also risk...
Oh, Wouter makes a small mistake, and that is allowing Flip to sneak on through. Yeah. Wouter now behind Flip Namzaram, and Wouter will lose out on the race lead, but of course, as it currently stands, those penalties for Flip Namzaram costing him a race win here tonight.
Yeah, and even a podium he's gonna Head down to P5. No, not P5. So
Oh, that is loudly around.
But actually, the slip is going really fast. He already has a second. Oh, Loki's out of the race.
Yep, Laupi retiring from the session, and that is not what you like to see. Of course, he would have picked up a point. It would have been good just to see him go around just to collect that point. Make sure you get the point on the board. As Wouter and Flip absolutely flying ahead of TB Ran, but as it currently stands, it is looking like it's going to be a Red Bull 1-2. Wouter first, Lance Ram second, unless we see any more mistakes come from Wouter or Flip. So it looks like, oh, Parang's gone. Parang's lost the car. He's around at the back and he's dropping down to P7. That'll be P8 when Ibo goes past, but Wouter with a 3-second time penalty.
But still, Flip has 6 seconds with penalties. So he needs to make a 3-second gap to Mr. Voter to keep the win.
Yeah, but what this means now is a little bit of pressure on Wouter because he can't afford to be battling with Flip too much, and he can't afford to pick up another penalty now, Wouter.
Flip already has 2 warnings, so you may actually be going for 9 seconds worth of penalties. If it's his final strike, one more and he'll get another penalty.
Well, the difference in the championship, if Wouter was the first second instead of first, the gap goes from 12 points in terms of the championship lead if Wouter finishes second, to 19 points if he finishes first. 1.5 seconds the gap between Flip Namzaram and Mr. Wouter. Wouter locking up and really struggling, and that gap, 1.6 seconds. Wouter just needs to keep his head. He just needs to keep his cool now. He has a full second to play with here. All he's got to do is keep his cool, keep his head.
Yeah, not much left to go.
Not make mistakes like that. Wouter losing big time. 2.6, 2.7, 2.8. As it currently stands, Flip Namzaram's winning this race.
It's gonna 3.2 now. 3.3, 3.4, yeah, he's losing it. 4 seconds now. Flip should really slow down because he has 2 warnings.
Yeah, Flip definitely needs to drive within himself here. Make sure he does not take any more track limits, and he's on course to win this race here.
Yeah, but even if he gets another penalty, he's getting close for forming a 6 seconds gap over Mr. Voter. I don't know what's happening with him, Mr. Voter.
I think it's gone to the full wet compound tyres now, and Wouter really struggling here. 6 seconds a gap. Flip can afford another penalty here.
Flip really managing it well. The final chicane, and on the main straight he heads and he wins the Belgian Grand Prix.
And Wouter, from what looked like a certified win and a 19-point lead going into the final race of the season, absolutely crumbled away from him, and he comes home, picks up P2, but that is only going to be a 12-point lead now into the final round, which is doable for Connor to overturn.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
It is not over indeed, but one thing that is over is, of course, the Constructors' Championship. Flip Namzaram and Mr. Router sealing that up here tonight for the Red Bull Racing team. A massive congratulations to the pair of them, as they both do a fantastic job over the course of the season, and they both make sure that they are picking up top tier points for their team, and that has culminated in a Constructors' Championship victory for the pair of them.
So Flip, from a mistake, going down to the very last position on the grid, to winning the race. He truly deserves. He truly deserves this driver of the day and the win.
Yep, and what we want to see now in the chat is bottle emojis and everything for Mr. Router, because he absolutely threw that one away.
Yeah, Mr. Bottle, not Mr. Voter.
Mr. Bottle indeed, as Flip Namzaram takes victory. And I'll tell you what, we're going to have a little look at the Drivers' Championship. 2 seconds as the celebrations are going on. We'll run you through the order one more time, but we'll once again have a look at the Drivers' Championship to see what chance Flip has in terms of the Drivers' Championship, because that's a big result for him tonight. So Flip Namzaram takes a victory ahead of Mr. Wouter in second place. TB Ran in third, with Skid Solo in fourth, Sinful in fifth, Swiss Steak in sixth, Vero Ducko comes home in P7, with Ibo down in P8, Palang in P9 after DNF, and Laupi, another DNF, Energetics, a third DNF, and Sicario, the first DNF of the evening. And what that does in terms of the Drivers' Championships, we see it there. Connor wasn't here tonight, so Wouter goes from 6 points behind to 12 points ahead. But now, with Flip picking up 25 points, that puts him mathematically still in the championship, I believe, as he'll go from 91 to 116. So he'll be off the top of the head. Quick math, sure, ladies and gentlemen, this never goes well. 116, he'll be 4 points behind Connor and 16 points behind Wouter. So it's definitely still a 3-horse race, and anything can happen next week as we go to the season finale, which is, of course, the Austrian Grand Prix.
Yep, one of the best.
Indeed, one of the best. But that is going to draw an end to tonight's racing. Massive congratulations to the Red Bull Racing team on their Constructors' victory. Congratulations to Flip on the win. For Wouter, the championship isn't over yet. He's got to take it into Austria. He has a 12-point lead. It is in his hands, but anything can happen. Still a 3-horse race. And of course, next week we will be back for the season finale at the Austrian Grand Prix. I have been Ivor Bryn Mike. He has been Ali. And we'll catch you next week for the season finale here in the Extreme Racing League.